Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome to Chatting with MUDD. I am MUDD. By the way, that's not my name. It is a nickname. Actually, it's a road name. My name's Clay. And for a lot of years, whenever I met somebody new, I'd stick out my hand and I'd say, "Nice to meet you. My name's Clay. Think of MUDD and you'll never forget me." And so the way that this became a nickname is a lot of decades ago. I was the founder of a Christian motorcycle club called Soldiers of the Cross. And I invited 7 of my very good friends to join me in the founding of this club. And so they each became co-founders and they became board members. And for those of you that may not know, in motorcycle club culture, everyone has what's called a road name. The thing about a road name is you don't select your own. It's given to you. And so we were at a meeting. This is before we even opened up for membership, and with just the board members. And we were figuring out road names. And my buddy, who we had named Razor, he came up with MUDD as my road name because of my old joke, "Think of MUDD and you'll never forget me." But he added a second D to it, as you can see on there. It's MUDD. And that's because it's an acronym. It stands for Mean, Ugly, Disagreeable Dirtbag. And so that is where MUDD came from. And obviously, I'm not offended by it because I use it everywhere. Used it on this channel. I have my own custom laser engraving business that I do on the side, and it's called MUDD Works. I've even got it on my social media as my middle name. But anyways, welcome to the channel. I want to tell you a little bit about what this channel is going to be about once I kind of figure it out myself. By the way, I got to tell you, anytime I tell that story about where the name MUDD came from, there's always some sweet little kind-hearted lady, and she'll come up to me afterwards and she'll say, "Pastor," or she'll say, "Clay, that's just mean. That's just cruel. You're not an ugly man." And I'll look at her just deadpan as I can, and I'll say, "Ma'am, let me tell you a little something about me." And not a lot of folks know this. I am the past president of a very prestigious national organization. It's called UMAO. You may have heard of it. Ugly Men Against Optometrists. A little bit more about me. I am a veteran of the United States Army. I served proudly in the United States Army for quite a few years. I was a military police officer, served during the Gulf War. When I got out of the Army, I got into civilian law enforcement. I got on with a police department in the Louisville, Kentucky area. I was stationed at Fort Knox, Kentucky, so that was a good match for me. And then I wound up moving out to San Diego and doing some other stuff in law enforcement. And while I was out there, I wound up getting separated from law enforcement for something that was not of my own doing. I wound up getting injured on duty and wound up being medically separated. And it was then that I went to seminary and I began my pastoral ministry in 1999. That's right. I've been doing this longer than a lot of y'all that are watching this have been alive. I now live in my hometown in north central Texas. I pastor a church here in town called Red River Cowboy Church. I know that doesn't make any sense at all, does it? And full time, I'm a private investigator. So that's a little bit about my background, a little bit about what you can come to expect from me. I've written and published 8 books. They're available on Amazon. As a matter of fact, there's a link in my description, in my channel description. But anyhow, that's who I am. And so this channel, the way I envision it, is going to be me sharing with you all some of the lessons that I've learned in my 58 years of traversing this world, some of the mistakes that I've made, and maybe how y'all can avoid them. Some of the skills that you're going to need to be able to grow and thrive and really become what you should become in this life. It's going to come from a Christian perspective. I want you to understand that up front. And if that's not your bag of chips, well, then that's okay. I understand that, and no hard feelings. I do hope that one of these days, somewhere along the line, somebody will be able to reach you with that truth of the gospel. For those of y'all that are still sticking around, there'll be some more stories. There'll be some practical tips. There's gonna, some things that I know how to do, or I've learned how to do, or I'm learning how to do that I want to share with you guys. And so, anyway, that is the bulk of what Chatting with Mud is going to be about. It's just this old feller telling y'all about some of the stuff that I've learned, some humor along the way, of course, and that sort of thing. I remember hearing this story years ago. It was Sunday morning, and this woman woke up her husband, and she said, "It's time to get up. We got to go to church." And he pulled the covers back over his head, and he said, "I'm not going to church." And she said, "Honey, get up. It's time to go. We got to get ready to go to church." And he said, "I told you I'm not going." And she says, "Why not?" And he said, "Well, number one, it's boring. Number two, the people hate me. Number three, I don't like it and I don't want to go. And I'm going to sleep in today and watch a football game afterwards." And she says, "Baby, you have to go to church." And he said, "Why?" She says, "Well, honey, you're the pastor." So, anyhow, if this seems like it's going to be your cup of tea, then I certainly invite you to join me. I'm going to try and post at least once, maybe twice a week. And you know what? If you feel up to it and you think this kind of content would be something that you'd be interested in following along with, I certainly invite you to subscribe. I do encourage you. In fact, I ask you to like this video. Give me a chance at getting started at least. And if you have any suggestions or questions or comments, put them down in the comments down there below. I will make it a point to try and go through and read each and every one of those as opportunity arises. Um, and again, to me, this is just a couple of old friends sitting around shooting the breeze, and I certainly want to hear back from you. So anyway, this is good. The channel Chatting with Mud. I think we'll have some fun on this channel. The fact is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a go of it, and if you want to join me along the way, I certainly invite you to do so. May God bless you, and with the Lord's blessing, we will see each other again here in the very near future. I'm Mud, also known as Clay, and we'll see you next time.